Hi everyone, Aiden here at the etrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at this UWS Combination Toolbox and Fuel Transfer Case. This is going to allow you to store fuel in the back of your truck and be able to transfer it to your machines on the job site or on the farm, and still have storage space for tools. Let's check it out. So the fuel transfer case is DOT compliant for transporting Class 3 combustible fuels only, such as diesel. And it's going to be constructed of 14 gauge steel. It's really strong stuff. And it's going to have a 75-gallon capacity. Now on this side here, you'll notice that we just have a plug. On this side is where you'd install your pump, or you could choose to put the cap over here. In our case today, I've chosen to put the cap on the passenger side. So this is where I would open it up and fuel up when needed. Like I mentioned though, this can go on either side. It's whatever works best for you and your truck. And once this is threaded on, there is going to be a cap on the top where we could add a padlock and basically prevent this from being turned and thus opened, keeping your stuff safe inside from being siphoned off. Now the toolbox on the front is made of aluminum. It's got a hinged lid that will open up 90 degrees, 2 latches on either side, and it can be locked. You'll notice on the lid that we've got a seal foam gasket around the whole thing, helping to keep things protected inside and weather tight. And internally, you've got 6.5 cubic feet of storage space. It's a pretty square and tall box, so it should be a pretty functional amount of space for you to work with. And some rough interior measurements. From front to back, we're working with about 17.5 inches. From side to side, we're going to be working with about 47.5 inches. And from top to bottom, going to be working with around 12 inches. There is a small slant to it here, so I'm taking that measurement in the middle. And for the most part, if you're keeping things under a foot tall, you should be pretty good and still be able to close the lid. Now, one thing we can't show you, but it's inside the fuel tank, are baffles. So in that giant 75-gallon tank, there's going to be dividing walls with small pass-throughs in there so that the fuel can still occupy the whole tank. But what that will do is just prevent the fuel from sloshing around inside, as opposed to if it were one cavernous tank without those dividers. Now down in the very bottom left-hand corner by our driver's side is a drain. So if you needed to empty the tank to move it, that's how you do it. And you will notice next to that is a mounting tab. This is one of 4 that are located around the tank, and you'll notice that we don't have ours installed today. It will require some drilling. It's a custom installation, but it'll basically bolt to the bed of your truck. So depending on how you have this set up or what your truck bed looks like, you can shift this around and move it, find the right spot for it, and then secure it down to get a permanent install here. Now, as far as overall exterior dimensions go, you want to know if this is going to fit in your bed and what it's going to look like in there. From side to side, we're sitting at 48.5 inches long. From top to bottom, we're looking at 26.75 of an inch tall, and that's to the tallest point on the fuel cap back here. And from front to back, the depth or the width, that's going to be 27 inches. So just keep that in mind whenever you're checking this out for your truck. In a truck like ours today, it would make this incompatible with something like a tonneau cover because it does stick up above the bed rails. So just be mindful of that when you're picking this out. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking it might not be the right fit for your needs, that's okay. There are a few other options available on our site if you're looking for the combination of fuel transfer tank and toolbox. Both options are going to be from DZ, and there's going to be one that's a bit smaller than this one, both in capacity for the fuel transfer tank and the toolbox, and one that'll be quite a bit larger in, again, both the fuel transfer tank and the toolbox. So if you've got more room to spare in your truck bed, maybe you've got a flat bed and you've got a lot more room to work with there, go with the larger option. It'll get you more capacity and maybe be a bit more functional for you. Or if you are concerned about the space that it takes up, or you just don't need as much storage in the transfer tank, you can go with that smaller option from DZ. Personally, I like the look of this UWS option the best though. I think it's going to be the nicest looking with the matte black finish, powder coat all throughout. I like that the toolbox is aluminum, so it's going to help save on weight a little bit. And the other thing is it's a more square and uniform shape. The smaller option from DZ is kind of an awkward shape, and that might cause some fitment issues for some people. And personally, I just think this is a cleaner look overall. But like I said, it comes down to you and your needs. If you have needs for a bigger tank and a bigger toolbox, then you need to go with that larger option. Or you can go with the smaller option if it fits your truck just a bit better. But today, this was just our look at this combination toolbox and fuel transfer case from UWS. Thanks for watching.